Hello and welcome. It's 8 p.m. India time or 14:30 GMT, and it's 10:30 in the evening in Hong Kong, where the protests are intensifying as we speak. Now, clashes erupted after thousands of pro-democracy demonstrators in Hong Kong gathered for a 13th consecutive weekend, defying a police ban. The protesters lit a fire on the steps outside a police station in Hong Kong. The protesters used plastic bollards, metal fencing and seating from a nearby sports ground to build the barricade before starting the blaze. Today also marks the 5th anniversary of a decision by China's ruling Communist Party against fully democratic elections in Hong Kong. Earlier, demonstrators lit fires and attacked the Legislative Council building as thousands joined the march. All right, for more in this developing story, I am now joined by Erin Hale, a journalist who is live from Kowloon in Hong Kong. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Beyond Berlin 1. Now, walk us through what are you seeing and hearing happening in Hong Kong as we speak.
As we speak, actually, several dozen riot police just ran behind me on the street. They're chasing protesters through Kowloon who have been playing a cat-and-mouse game with them this evening. These protests in Kowloon follow demonstrations earlier today in Hong Kong Island that saw protesters first march very peacefully and then demonstrations descend into tear gas and petrol bombs outside of government headquarters before moving to Causeway Bay, which is a very popular shopping district with tourists.
Erin, it's the 13th straight weekend of protests in Hong Kong. Now, we've seen and heard about the manner in which the Hong Kong police have behaved today as well as in the weeks gone by. But what about the Chinese soldiers, the PLA soldiers stationed in Hong Kong? Are they still in their barracks, or are there fears that they might come out and intervene going forward?
That's a very good question. That's still a big question mark. However, there was a major troop rotation this week into Hong Kong. It usually happens this time of year. The Hong Kong garrison has been here since 1997 when the British handed over Hong Kong. Soldiers have not been seen on the streets yet. It really is still just Hong Kong police. However, things do really change day from day, so it's hard to say if that were to happen when it would.
And Edwin, let's talk about the politics behind all of these pro-democracy protests happening in Hong Kong. Let's talk a bit about Carrie Lam herself. Now, where is the chief executive as we speak? What is she up to? Have we heard from her at all? And especially given the fact that recently there was a report that China has rejected a proposal to withdraw the controversial extradition bill.
Carrie Lam has largely retreated from public view, though she is holding weekly press conferences on Tuesdays at Legislative Council. Although since that report came out, and even for many weeks earlier, she really has been seen as a lame duck who's basically at the behest.
I'm afraid we've lost that video link with Erin Hale in Kowloon, Hong Kong. We'll try to fix that line with her momentarily, but going back to the story we've been tracking here on Beyond Berlin 1, I'm told we have Erin Hale back with us. Erin, I meant to ask you about Carrie Lam. Where is she? What is she up to? And have you heard from her at all? Especially given the fact that the Chinese have rejected a proposal of withdrawing that controversial extradition bill.
Yes, Carrie Lam has largely retreated from public view in recent weeks, although she has started holding regular press conferences, but she has pretty much failed to answer the media's questions. She is largely viewed as a lame duck, and no one really believes that she is in charge at this moment. I think many people believe that Beijing is really calling the shots at this point.
And very quickly, Erin, let's talk a bit about what is happening behind you as we speak in other parts of the city. Now, how is the transport situation like as we speak? Can we expect the airport, for instance, to work normally tomorrow as well? And are there any reports of any further mass arrests that we heard about some time back?
There are reports that there may be a protest at the airport tomorrow at 1:30 p.m., but it is hard to say whether or not that will happen, as often these ideas are proposed and then voted down. There have been some MTR stations closed today. They've increasingly, they've added 3 stations now. There was one this afternoon. Service is being cut gradually. Transit generally, though, is a bit chaotic as protesters move around and police do as well. They cause large traffic jams. So riding in a vehicle here is a bit hit or miss.
All right, Erin.